Good morning. It's Tuesday, it's 10:30, it's Nifty Noodles time. And as always, I'm just setting up. Oh, we have a picture. Today, I am not going to have any technology problems. All I need are some people to watch me. Oh, hello, Christine. Thank you for being first. I've just said to myself, I am not going to have any technology problems today. I'm quite confident on that score. So let's see what happens. I hope you're well today, Christine. Just give it a couple of minutes. Hope you had a good bank holiday yesterday. I think you had family staying with you, or at least grandchildren last week, so hope you had lots of fun with them. Right, we're officially on 10:30 because my clock's just struck 10:30. I have a feeling that there may not be many people here today, with it being bank holiday week and the last week of the school holidays. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining. There's not very many of everyone yet, Chris, unfortunately. It's me, Christine and yourself, but I'll give it a couple of minutes before I kick off, because I know that people do watch afterwards, and it's a big ask for people to tune in perhaps reasonably early, and especially during school holidays and bank holiday weeks. So it's a trio of us so far, which is actually works quite well because we're doing triangles today. A trio of triangles. Hi Anita, thank you for joining us. I was just thinking there were just three of us today, Anita, but thank you for making us a foursome. I'm going to kick off. It will probably be a reasonably... Oh, I hate it when my laptop, my iPad does funny things for me. I'm going to start. It's going to be a reasonably quick and easy today. Last week was a total washout, wasn't it, in terms of technology. I then found out that I had pretty much no storage whatsoever left on my phone, so I've had to rectify that with a new phone this week. Anyway, starting off, as I so often do, with a 6x6 card blank. Okay, so this would work with smaller card, large card, 5x7, not necessarily a DL quite as well. Hello Karen, thank you for joining me this morning, although you can adapt this for any sort of card that you're making. My disastrous last week was circles. This week I decided to do a similar type of theme, because you didn't get to see last week's, but I thought I would use triangles. So last year I got the Lisa Horton Crafts nested and stitched triangles. They're on my magnetic board on the wall in front of me, and I hardly use them. There are 4 others that go in between here. I just didn't take them all off my board. So I decided to use triangles today. I'm not using the largest one. And I also thought, right, okay, I tried hard with my circles last week to be clean and simple, to just stick to a colour. So I've gone yellow this week, as per on Creative Minds Kind Hearts. Our colour for this week is yellow, something I don't use. Possibly for flowers occasionally, but yellow isn't my go-to type of colour, so I'm having a bit of a play and a bit of an experiment this week. I started off, so I think I've just knocked the camera, with a paper pad I used last week, and it's a really old Craftwork card one which I have hardly touched, and it's monochrome, and in here that will probably show up as white, but there's a very faint cream pattern in there as well. But these some of the black and white ones, let's flip through. Some of them are almost plain, then we've got the dots. Oh gosh, that makes your eyes go funny, that one. A sheet full of happy. I love that pattern. Oh, and this one as well. It's a bit like, reminds me of Zentangle. It's that sort of repeat pattern. So I decided to use that, and also I can only show you odd bits and pieces of it. Yellow card, and that is Dovecraft textured cardstock, and I got a packet of 6x6 multicoloured cardstock. I've also got it in 12x12. I did take a tip from Elizabeth a while ago. If you have a choice between 6x6, 8x8 or 12x12, go if you can at 12x12. You get so much more out of each piece of card. Hi Miriam, hi Wendy, hi Anne and Linda. We're filling up a bit now. Okay, so what I did was, my starting point was to make loads and loads of triangles. So I have triangles that are full triangles, some that are kind of outlined triangles, patterns, scraps of paper left over. And then I really didn't know where I was starting. I thought, let's put them together and make kind of like hexagon out of them. But because these dies are isosceles triangles, which means two sides are the same, but the third side isn't the same, that would make it an equilateral triangle, I believe. It doesn't make a proper hexagon as such, so I did try layer it on a die cut hexagon, but I had to fan the pieces out so that there's more space at the bottom edge than there is in the centre. Then I decided I just didn't like that at all. I also, with the cutting all together on one piece of paper, I then layered them, like nested them as though they were dies themselves, attaching washi tape to the back to keep them all in place. And I did that with two different sets of triangles, and at the moment my mind doesn't want to go with those either. So I have got in my mind what I want to do with my triangles, and I'm starting off with, as I've said, beginning a 6x6 card blank. Yeah, the yellow, Miriam, I have decided I like the yellow. I mean, any bold colour, orange would work well, I like a lime green, a bright purple, but the yellow does go very well with the monochrome. I've already matted and layered black, yellow and white card, and you'll get, you must be sick and tired of me saying I leave 2mm around the edge of all my matting and layering as a general rule. Sometimes I'll leave more, but as my general rule I use 2mm round each of the edges. It just gives a nice little splash of colour. Okay, I did think I would just go yellow and white, but it was really lacking something. It needed the black on there. Okay, I then have taken, oops, I'm losing these tiny little triangles, took some of the larger triangles, and I won't be able to find any now, one of the smaller cuts, and played around placing them on top of each other so that you get a layer of pattern. Okay, but I didn't want just the black and white, so on this one I've got the monochrome, a yellow and another monochrome. On this triangle I've gone purely yellow and monochrome, but you can see there I have 3 triangles and I've layered those at opposite sides. And my third triangle in my piece today, my card, is going to be just 2 pieces, and I'm going to place that upside down on the card so we've got different angles and different layering. Okay, so let me just move my dice for a second. This tiny little triangle is wonderful, but the number of times I misplaced that on my desk whilst I was cutting all the triangles out. Okay, so I will just very quickly put my mat onto the card blank. The Dovecraft card that I'm using, it says it's 220 GSM. My mind kind of doubts that because it doesn't feel quite that thick, but layered up it provides quite a nice solid base. Okay, that way. Okay, so just with wet glue. I always use wet glue for my bases. Okay, you see already, you can see it's just coming to life. Yeah, it makes the yellow pop, doesn't it? And then I played around a little bit, and I'm going to put that behind there, I think. So I've got spots on all of them, so that's a theme that follows through on there. I then wanted a sentiment, so I went to my Lisa Horton squiggled scripts, I believe they're called, and went black on yellow, and that's going to go on the bottom of my card. And a lot of you will know I don't do clean and simple. I love looking at other people's clean and simple cards. I see them and I think, wow, gosh, that is amazing. So I am trying so hard to have a go at a different style. And the other thing is, I know I've got a die cut, the Lisa Horton die cut for this, but you don't need dies for your triangles. Just like last week when I started off, I was saying that if you haven't got dies for the circles, find some household objects that you can draw around, or get an old-fashioned compass and pencil, which I've got 2 or 3 hanging around the house from various school things. These triangles, before I got my Lisa Horton triangles last year, I used to just mark it out with pencil on a piece of card and cut the triangles out. So easy to do. You don't need lots of equipment to do this. Okay, right, I'm going to stick these on. Be really brave and use the quick drying glue for these. Okay, just doing it all by eye. Okay, no measuring on this one at all, which makes it really easy. Now I just need, I'm going to keep that there whilst I glue and place this one underneath. Now, I am also wondering, oh, the other thing, I was going to start off saying this, but let me just pop this on here first. It's going this way around. Can't talk and do at the same time. That can go somewhere roughly there. So I'd got this idea in my head and I'd started planning it all out, cutting it all yesterday. Went onto Facebook last night and there's, you've probably all seen them, Mrs. Cox's Christmas cards for this year. Triangles, gold triangles. Nice bit of embellishment as well, which Jill, as we know, is renowned for her wonderful embellishments. I just want those points to be at different heights, so I'm going to just raise that up a bit. So Gillian, super Christmas cards. I haven't stolen your idea, honest. I had this planned in my mind over the weekend, and then when I saw the colour was yellow, I thought let's go with yellow on Creative Minds Kind Hearts. But these are so easy, so quick, and like I'd said last week, yeah, I think yellow could do a masculine card. It's nice and cheery, but this type of thing, yellows, oranges, greens, black and white, did I say brown, layer up your colours. Blues would be a good one, but this sort of thing is perfect for your masculine card. And the thing with your like your squiggled script, you don't have a straight line as such to follow, at least I don't. Okay, so that is my first card for today. I do have another one to share with you, ladies. Oh, stylish, thank you, Anita. Wendy, yeah, absolutely brilliant for scraps. In terms of paper that I used, let's have a look. Of course, I keep everything. So they were last week's circles, and then I've got 4 triangles out of there this week. Same sort of thing on that piece of paper, and I'm still keeping these because there's still space on here for some of the small triangles, or indeed very small flowers later. Yeah, all my little bits of scraps, they are all still here. And I think, I don't know if you were here at the start, Wendy, but my little scraps of yellow, I keep all of them. Okay, you just never know when you're going to need a thin strip of yellow, or yeah, these are out of the monochrome. There's some of those that have got very, very, very pale cream pattern in them. But yeah, keep everything. The only trouble I find is I tend to keep them in the front of my paper pad, but then it ends up all lumpy and bumpy and uneven, so it's a bit of a tricky one. And all the triangles that I cut out and didn't use, I will be saving for another day, and at some point in the future you will see them reappear. But for now, I forgot, I've got 2 tiny little triangles left. Let's come just back to this. Oh God. These are so tiny, these triangles. Okay, that one I think we might have upside down, and that one there can go the same way. Right, okay, just 2. You can see how small they are, and I need tweezers for this because I cut my fingernails last week, and this week I can't pick anything up. Okay, that's slightly cockeyed. Oops. So, gosh, this one's alive. Tiny bit of glue on there. And that was, oh gosh, that was going the right way up, wasn't it? Okay, pop that on there. Okay, right, wipe up the glue. Right, 1 card finished. Good morning, Gail. Thank you for joining us. I don't think I said hello, Wendy. May have done, but hey, thank you all for watching this. Card number 2 is going to be hopefully just as quick and easy as that one. I'm again 6x6 card blank, and I have so little yellow in my stash of papers. However, I found a few bits of paper that were big enough to do a mat in one of my original Knitwit collections, printed by Lily, or sold through Lily of the Valley, called One Birdie Lane, and I've got lots of bits, but oh gosh, that I love that one as a yellow paper. Very few pieces of paper left in there, lots of scraps. See, keep everything. And I have made a mat with this gorgeous yellow paper with little white daisies on. I think you will be able to see that. And I've cut that with quite a large border because I am going to put something around it. I didn't want too much black against this because I've no black as well as yet on the card. Okay, so let's get the base down. Obviously a little bit more feminine with the daisies on here, but I think it's about central. Okay. Gosh, sometimes the more you look at something, the more you think, oh, it's not straight, but I tend to go with my first instinct. Okay, that looks about right. Okay. And for these, I have layered yellow and white. Okay, now my first one, I used my quick drying glue to put the yellow triangle on the white, stuck it down, didn't move it quick enough, and it was slightly off centre. So I decided, let's go with it and let's put the next one off centre as well. And on my next triangle, I put everything off centre. So essentially, they are all the same. There's no right and wrong when it comes to your card making. It's whatever you make is right. Okay. I was mortified at first. I could have done another one, but I thought, no, I don't want to throw it away. So let's start there this time. Do it a bit the other way round to the first card in terms of size and direction. I'm going to put another large triangle, I think, down there, because I then have hello to go in the bottom corner. Okay, doesn't quite pop the same as that one does, different type of yellow as well, but I still like that. Yes, it's not pastel, it's not quite as in your face, should I say, not quite as bright and bold. Okay, let's try line this up, because I've got rows of daisies here. I do need to make sure that it looks straight. Okay. Did I start talking about Christmas earlier? I don't think I got onto Christmas. This would be a good one, possibly. You could use, I mean, I've used circles last week, triangles today, stars with scraps of paper. You could do some really nice, clean and simple layering with stars out of scraps of Christmas paper. It's now about 116 days to Christmas, so if you haven't started your Christmas cards, might be a good idea to start some now. I started this week playing with my craft consortium made by elves. I think I have 4 cards so far. I am trying to work through all the different, or most of the different folded card shapes that I've done over the last year or so, and I'm trying to do a card in each style. Some of them don't suit the papers, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, still space for that. And again, that's one of the Lisa Horton squiggled scripts, I think it's called. So a bit of glue. Again, it's like I say, there is no right and wrong to a card like this. Even if you make a mistake on it, nobody will know what it was supposed to be like beforehand. We get very good, don't we, at covering up or putting a little gem or something, embellishment, where we might have got a pencil mark, no, ink mark, a splodge of something. Well, I do anyway. A little bit of glue just coming through the stitched bit of the triangle there that I'm just going to take away with the blade of the knife. Okay. Oh gosh, that does look different, doesn't it? Okay, so I think it does look just a little bit plain like that. So I got out my Posca pens. You do have to shake these up before you use them. So just a little bit of noise there. I've got a thin black one, which is 0.7 millimeters. I haven't actually used this before, so it's a bit of trial and error. So I'm just going to go for it on this one. Okay. And this is the quickest and easiest type of edging. I have done it before, but with a different type of pen. So I'm just going to go for this and do a bit of a wiggly line around the outside, just to create some sort of definition and border for the card. It's very much like felt pen type, a graphic-y type of nib on it. However, it is quite wet, and I did have a practice earlier on a bit of scrap paper, which is always a good idea, and I did smudge it. Got it all over my fingers. So word of warning, I don't know if anybody else is thinking or has heard of or has any Posca pens but hasn't used them yet. It does take a little bit of drying, so I've got to be careful with this. I'm going to do a double line on here, so I'm just, it doesn't matter how much you go over, how much space you leave, whether your lines end up almost on top of each other. It's purely freehand, and I was very tentative when I started doing this type of thing, but it's kind of the faster the better almost when you're doing that. So that gives it a bit of an edging. Not sure that I'm going to like this when I've finished it. And then I've got a thick yellow Posca pen, which says the nib is between 1.8 and 2.5 millimetres. Just excuse the noise whilst I give that a bit of a shake. I bought these really on the hoof after seeing Wendy Jackson use some on a card video that she did, and thought, oh gosh, they look nice. So went and bought some, wasn't sure how to use them, so I haven't used them much. I have a few colours, quite pastel. Really good for dots. I haven't tried much else with it as yet, and I'm going to dot in between, well, where the lines cross over. When it dries, it gives like a bit of a chalky appearance to it, so it's got a nice bit of texture. Now I'm doing every other one. When I get round to the end, if it doesn't work out, I'll go back and I'll put more on. So there's, right, that's come out quite fast as that. There's, yeah, a bit of a run on the ink there has come out. So it is one of those where, let me just show you, the nib does move. Oh, look at that. Okay, if you press the nib down, you get a real whole load of ink coming out of there. So word of warning, if you want to try them, yeah, try it on your scrap paper first. Okay, I'm going to have to leave this somewhere to dry. Oh, that'll do nicely, I think. Okay, I think I've got enough on there. Oops, wrong lid. Okay, so that's my second one. Very, very different. I'm looking at it now and I am really unsure about the black outline. Okay, but if you don't try, you don't know, do you? I absolutely love the monochrome one, the birthday. The black's probably a little bit harsh around the edge of there, but what I might do with that, to be honest, is I might trim it so that I actually cut the yellow out, make it a massive topper, put it on another card and maybe put a mat of white behind it and then lift it off the card. I might do that, I'm not sure yet. I'll perhaps sleep on it and see what I think about it. But as I said, we make mistakes. You have to try these things, and if you don't like it, there will be a way of rescuing it, and I may well do that. So watch this space, just see if there's something else comes out of it. But have a go, make your triangles. I'll get your triangular dies out if you've got any of those, and see how clean and simple you can make yours. And maybe choose the yellow, get some yellow, and pop your cards on Creative Minds Kind Hearts for this week's colour. And that's about it, folks, for this week. So thank you all for joining me this bank holiday week. Hope you have a good week this week, and hopefully look forward to seeing you all next week again. Okay, bye for now.